Snow swirled through Chicago's streets, wrapping the city in a hushed, icy embrace. Streetlights cast amber glows on slush-covered sidewalks, where boots crunched and breath turned to mist. Inside a black Range Rover, the air was warm, the windows faintly fogged. Henry Whitmore sat behind the wheel, staring through the windshield, seeing nothing. He'd just ended a call, another draining exchange with a board member about projections and layoffs. His Bluetooth buzzed with the faint echo of the voice as he tapped it off. A text from his assistant lit up the dashboard. Investor Gala tonight. RSVP confirmed. Be there by 7. Henry didn't reply. He switched off the screen, leaned back, and sighed. Not tired, just numb. From the outside, Henry had it all. 40, CEO of a top Chicago real estate firm, a net worth that turned heads, his name on hospital plaques and university halls. His suits were tailored, his smile polished, his 57th floor condo sleek but hollow. Empty, that word clung to him lately. He reached for his coffee, now cold, and glanced out the frosted windshield toward a bakery's golden glow. That's when he saw her. A small girl, maybe 6, sat on the sidewalk's edge under a lamppost, knees to her chest, clutching a worn teddy bear. Her yellow coat was too thin, frayed at the seams, one boot untied. Her cheeks were red from cold, lips moving as if whispering to the bear. Henry frowned. Was she waiting for someone? No adult, no car nearby, just her and the snow. He lowered his window a few inches, the cold biting his face. Hey, he called softly, you okay? The girl looked up, her dark eyes steady, not scared, just tired. She held his gaze like she was used to facing the world alone. Then she whispered, barely audible over the snowfall, everyone has a home except me. The words hit like a punch. Something tightened in Henry's chest. He gripped the steering wheel, the leather digging into his palm. The car's warmth felt wrong, a lie against her words. He had homes in 3 cities, private elevators, staff. Yet her 6 words made him feel small. She stood, brushing snow off her teddy's ears, and turned down the sidewalk toward an alley behind the bakery. Henry hesitated. Logic screamed to stay out of it. This wasn't his world, his was mergers, deadlines, control. Get a grip, he muttered, but his hand was already on the door. The wind stung as he stepped out, his polished shoes sinking into slush. He followed her past glowing bakery windows, down a narrow street lined with bins and rusted fences. She didn't look back or run, just walked like she had nothing to hide and nowhere to go. What's your name? He asked, catching up, his voice nearly cracking. Nora, she said, not turning. You shouldn't be out here alone. I'm not, she replied. I'm going home. She pointed to a metal door under a staircase, no porch, no light. That's where my aunt lives. I live there now, too. Kind of. Henry glanced at the door. Does she know you're out here? Nora shrugged. She works late. I don't think she saw me leave. Then, as if it were the most natural question, she turned and asked, are you someone who keeps walking or someone who helps? He froze. Not long ago, he'd have walked, detached, practical. But her words cracked something inside him. I guess we're about to find out, he said quietly. She nodded, pushed open the heavy door, and warm, stale air spilled out. Henry followed. The hallway smelled of mildew and onions, the tiles sticky under his shoes. Nora led him with ease to a dented beige door and knocked. No answer. She pulled a key from a string around her neck and pushed the door open. The apartment was tiny, a single bulb casting tired light over a worn couch, a crocheted blanket, a rattling space heater. A young woman with paint-smudged wrists and exhausted eyes blinked at Henry. Nora, she said, voice husky, who's this? This is Henry, Nora said, setting her teddy on the couch. He followed me. I didn't follow, Henry said, raising a hand. She was in the cold. I was concerned. The woman stepped forward, arms crossed. I'm Claire, her aunt. Sorry for the mess. Henry glanced around. His condo could buy this building 10 times over, yet this place felt real. Photos on the wall showed Nora as a toddler, a woman with her eyes, her mother, he guessed. Claire followed his gaze. My sister, Nora's mom. Passed 6 years ago. Complications during birth. Her dad left before she was born. Henry nodded. I'm sorry. Claire shrugged. Grief old news. I've raised her since, working double shifts at a diner, some painting gigs. It's not much, but we manage. She said she didn't have a home, Henry said softly. Claire looked away. We move a lot. Rent's cheap here, and they let me pay late. Nora opened a cookie tin from the kitchenette. We still have one, she said, holding a cinnamon cookie out to Henry. He knelt, took it, and said, thank you. Nora smiled and returned to her bear. Claire watched, her arms relaxing. Can I get you something? Tap water. Henry shook his head. I'm not here to intrude. You're dressed like you've never worried about heat, Claire said, studying him. Why are you here? He exhaled. Her words stuck with me. Claire nodded. She's good at that. After brief talk, Henry stood. I should go. Claire followed him to the door. Thanks for checking on her, she said. Most people walk by. Henry paused. She asked if I help. I didn't know how to answer. Claire smiled faintly. Maybe now you do. Back in his SUV, the leather still warm, Henry's hands shook. At his penthouse, the marble lobby and silent elevator felt sterile. Reports waited on his desk, his espresso cold. He stared at his laptop, Nora's voice echoing, everyone has a home except me. The next morning, he stood by his office window, snow falling. He hadn't slept. Her eyes haunted him. He grabbed his coat, muttering, just one more visit. At the apartment, he carried a grocery bag and a new space heater. Claire opened the door, surprised. I brought breakfast, Henry said, lifting the bag. And this. He set up the heater, its warmth immediate. You didn't have to, Claire muttered. I wanted to, he said. They sat at the tiny table, Nora devouring a muffin, Claire sipping instant coffee. Henry's eyes caught a drawing on the fridge, 3 stick figures under a starry sky, Claire, Nora, and a tall figure labeled H. She drew that after you left, Claire said softly. She thinks fast, feels faster. Nora handed him a worn sketchbook filled with drawings of homes, houses on hills, by lakes, with warmer lights. Some included a tall suited man. She draws homes she's never had, Claire said. Her way of building one. Henry flipped to a blank page. She said this one's for later, Claire added. When she knows how it ends. Henry asked to borrow the book, wanting to understand Nora's idea of home. Claire nodded, a flicker of trust in her eyes. Nora hugged his waist as he left. Thank you for breakfast, she whispered. Thank you for sharing, he replied. Claire warned, she'll expect you tomorrow. Henry smiled. I'll be here. That night, in his glass-walled office, he opened the sketchbook to the blank page and drew a tiny house with one word, hope. Days later, he returned with keys. Claire stared at the manila envelope. Keys to what? A warm, safe apartment, Henry said. 2 bedrooms, furnished, good heat, near a library and park, top school district. We're not charity, Claire said, guarded. It's not charity, Henry replied. It's a reset. Nora peeked out. More muffins. Henry smiled. Something better. He set the envelope on the table. You can say no, but Nora shouldn't just imagine safety. She should live it. Claire called the next day. We'll try it. They moved into a bright, clean apartment. Nora's room had a full bed, bookshelf, and sunny window. Henry brought glow-in-the-dark stars, sticking them on her ceiling in constellations. It's my sky, Nora gasped, hugging him. Claire watched, hand on her chest. Henry became part of their routine, walking Nora home, teaching her paper airplanes. Claire smiled more, painting at a non-profit studio. One day, Nora showed Henry a drawing, the three of them outside their new home, Dad in red crayon under his figure. His heart caught. "I'll earn it," he whispered. But trouble came. A knock late one night revealed Jason, Nora's father, in a cheap suit, claiming her. "I've changed," he said smugly. Henry stood firm. "Leave." Jason smirked. "I'll be back with a court order." Nora's drawings darkened, her fears resurfacing. Henry hired an investigator, uncovering Jason's shady dealings, parole violations, a stolen vehicle. Then a photo of Nora in the park arrived, taken secretly. Henry doubled security, walked Nora to school himself. In court, Jason spun a tale of reform, but Henry spoke from the heart, family's presence, not biology. Nora, trembling, told the judge, he stayed. "I feel safe with him." A file revealed Jason's drug trafficking. The judge ruled, full custody to Claire, Henry as guardian, Jason's rights suspended. Nora sobbed in Henry's arms, relieved. They moved to a renovated top-floor unit near the botanical gardens, warm and cozy. Nora's room glowed with fiber-optic stars. Life became normal, spilled juice, mismatched socks. Henry learned to braid Nora's hair, Claire sold paintings. Sunday pancakes became galaxy breakfasts with blueberry constellations. Nora called Henry my kind of dad at a school event. Claire framed their first family photo. One night, Nora gave Henry a drawing, 3 people under stars. "Now we all have a home," she whispered. He teared up. "You gave it to us first." Claire and Henry married in June, Nora tossing petals. Their apartment filled with laughter, art, and love. Jason's arrest for drug trafficking, 15 years, no parole, sealed their peace. Nora's drawings brightened, fear gone. If this story warmed your heart, join Midnight Tales for more tales of love and second chances. Subscribe, share where you're watching from, and let's keep the magic alive.